Hey there, everybody. Michael Bolton III here with Rivy for the fourth day of Alliance Tournament 10. We are in the final day of qualifiers. We have a great match here for you today. Dead Terrorists versus Team Liquid. Both these teams have worked in a long range for the beacon. Why don't you tell us a little bit about these teams, Rivy?
All right, Team Liquid has brought the same setup they brought last weekend, which is 300 MN afterburning Tengus and one Vigil. This is a team that's designed to kite, to spread out, to not get caught while they're raining damage at long range. Meanwhile, we've got a full Amar Rush team from Dead Terrace. They brought 2 Ham Legions, a Guardian, and 3 Punishers. They've warped in at range, 50 kilometers from the beacon for Team Liquid, and 30 kilometers for Dead Terrace. Not a great positioning start for Dead Terrace because they need to get up close fast. If these Tengus can get spread out well enough and not go out of the boundary, then they'll be in good shape. It's going to be up to these Punishers for Dead Terrace to stay alive while tackling the Tengus if they want to get damage applied. The match has now begun. We're going to see the Team Liquid team burning away, and we are. It's worth noting that flying a kite team like this is difficult. It requires a lot of coordination, and there's always a danger of going out of the arena, so we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I imagine this Guardian has pre-locked all these Punishers. They're going to be taking a lot of heat as they charge across the field, try and get tackles on these Tengus. Hopefully they don't overcharge these Tengus as they approach the boundary.
Yeah, we are seeing damage applied to one of the Dead Terrorist Punishers, but he's holding up just fine under the reps of that Guardian. Punishers, after the buff to them, have gigantic tanks. They don't have a whole lot of mid-slots, but they're great heavy tacklers that can survive really well. We're seeing shifting of damage to another Punisher of where is the cake for Dead Terrace. It'll be interesting to see whether or not the Guardian can manage jumping these reps back and forth fast enough. Damage is being split between all of the different Punishers. They're switching back and forth. That's smart play on the part of Team Liquid.
Oh, this Punisher is so close to going down. He's just in 5% armor. We'll see. Oh, and he's finally getting some reps. Damage has already switched onto X999. An important thing to note about armor reps, we'll see. I'll actually wait, and a Punisher goes down. Yeah, as these Punishers go down, the reps are going to be easier, but they're going to have a much harder time pinning down these Tengus. So one thing I was going to note about armor reps is that if they could switch damage properly and hit a Punisher and switch damage just as a cycle starts for the Guardian, because the damage to the rep lands at the end of the cycle, it will be a full 2 cycles before the rep can land on the new ship that they have fronted.
We are seeing the Legions have caught up to one of the Tengus for Team Liquid and are doing a lot of damage to him. He's slipping his armor. It looks like he's going to go down. They're breaking him right through his shield booster, likely an ancillary shield booster. So if he doesn't die before then, he'll definitely die when he gets his reload time. But we are seeing a lot more damage being applied to these Punishers. Keeping them alive is going to be a big challenge for this Guardian, but if they can take down one of the Tengus and reduce the DPS, it'll really help.
Yeah, these Ham Tengus, or these Ham Legions just do so much damage. Like, if they get on top and start applying their DPS, and it's just going to be a spiraling out of control mess for Team Liquid.
We've seen the shield booster now stop for Sergeant for Team Liquid. It looks like he's on his reload and he goes into structure and he's about to die. So that's going to be a lot of DPS reduced for Team Liquid. That's a great start, trading a Punisher for a Tengu for Dead Terrace. Both of these teams have had a fair bit of hype before the tournament. Team Liquid, this is their first tournament, but they come from a gaming community that really cares about maximizing their potential in the game. Meanwhile, Dead Terrace has a lot of experience in the tournament. These guys know what they're doing in the tournament. They are great, experienced EVE players, the core of Dead Terrace that's left after the rest of the Alliance fell apart.
Yeah, very true. I think that I actually don't like the way that Team Liquid is flying these Tengus. These Tengus are only about 10 kilometers apart. I think they need to spread them out a bit, giving the Dead Terrace a clear direction to fly in, which they can just point all their ships and go, is, I think, a big mistake in piloting.
I completely agree. What's happening is once one of these Tengus gets caught, you want to make sure that the rest of your Tengus are as far away as possible so that they have to cross the entire arena to get to you. Staying together like this is a bad call.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think at this point, the Guardian is be able to rep all of these easily. They need to start putting damage on this Guardian. It's within range, I believe.
It definitely
it should be well within range.
It is worth noting that we are seeing damps applied from the Dead Terrace team or from the Team Liquid team onto Dead Terrace. So they likely had the Guardian damped and were trying to do the kills through that. That's probably how the one Punisher died. But that obviously is not going to work at this point now that the Guardian's up and a bit closer. So they've switched their damage to him and they're going to try to bring him down. It's just a race now. We'll see whether or not Team Liquid is able to take down that Guardian before they lose another Tengu.
Yeah, very true. And as I was talking about primary the Guardian, they switched primary to the Guardian, but Guardians really do have a baller armor tank. It can be pretty exceedingly large. And if if even one of these Tengus gets caught, it's just going to be a no-go situation for Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that Dead Terrace is going to be pretty happy right now because with that one Tengu kill, they've actually gotten all the points they need to be guaranteed to go through to next week. So congratulations to Dead Terrace. You are guaranteed through. It's just a question now of whether or not Team Liquid will get through as well, and who's going to actually get the win in the fight.
Latilio Denim has gone a long time without these armor reps. Need to land real sooner. He's going to die.
Yeah, but
He's
the moment
only in like 5% armor.
It looks like he went out to try to catch those Tengus and probably got outside of the damped lock range of the Guardian. But
the
Guardian,
the rep.
There he got the rep, so it looks like he's going to get saved.
Yeah, no.
That was smart pilot on his part. He pulled back when he was taking too much damage. Got in close.
Team Liquid is going to be in a tough spot if they don't kill some more stuff. They only have 2 points. They did score full points last weekend, but the cutoff is what now? 70, something like that?
73, I think. So both of these teams need 11 points to go forward. Dead Terrace has already got that with the 16 points they got for killing the Tengu. If they can kill this Guardian, even if they lose the match, Team Liquid is through as well. So that's got to be their goal at this point. Just wear down the Guardian, finish it off, and then at that point, both of them are through to the match, and it just comes down to whether they can kill some expensive ships.
Very true.
Killing expensive ships is always fun.
Well, it's fun for players to kill expensive ships, but if players really want to be nice to the devs, CCP Shrieks really loves killing expensive
Yes, if someone wants to fly out of the arena, then they'll make him very happy. But we're seeing one of the Tengus now tackled by a Punisher. That Tengu is all webbed down. He is using 100 MN afterburner, so a scram wouldn't affect him, but smartly, these Punishers are using webs rather than scrams. In general PvP on Tranquility, often a scram is more valuable than a web, but in the tournament, if you have a choice of one or the other, the web is the better choice, and that was a smart play on Dead Terra's side.
Latilo in a Punisher just dropped outside of the rep range of that Guardian. But at the same time, we have Kara Surrogate in a Tengu about to die. His booster not going to be able to save him at this point from this punishing DPS.
No, it won't. And that's only 4 points for Team Liquid so far, so they still need more kills. If they lose this Tengu and only have the DPS from one Tengu left, they're going to be in a tough position to try to get enough points to move forward. 4 points could still do it for them if a lot of other teams fall flat on their face going forward, but it's going to be very hard. What they need to do is just survive as long as possible. They have 3 minutes to kill that Guardian. If the last Tengu can kill the Guardian, then they're going to get through. Otherwise, it doesn't look like they will.
I don't think that it's going to be able to kill the Guardian. I just don't think the damage is going to be... Because at this point, the Guardian can just pull range, and the Tengu won't be able to move through the Punisher and 2 Legions to get to it to apply its damage. I think that... I actually don't know about these teams. Like, there's the DPS from the Amar Rush team is pretty strong, but I really don't like a couple things. Like, there's not a lot of drone utility from either of these teams. They're pretty much just straight fly teams. Like, if you can get the tackles, you win as the Amar team most of the time. And if you cannot get tackled, you win as a tank team. But I don't think that there's a lot of... It's an either-or system. I don't think there's a lot of leeway in between.
And the other big weakness that the Ham Legion team has is killing frigates. They don't have an effective way to kill frigates fast. Because of that, because these Ham missiles don't do a good job of hitting very small signature fast-moving targets. So the Ham team is always risky in that regard. They're going to do fine against hitting these shield Tengus, but against a team with a lot of assault frigs, for instance, they would have a lot of trouble. I think the biggest benefit of bringing the legions like Dead Terrace did is if they're afraid of ECM. If you know you're going to go up against, or you think it's likely you're going to go up against an ECM team, a great way to counter it is to bring a full Amar team. Not only is it single race, which is one of the best things to do against ECM, but it's the race that's least popular in the tournament, and that's a big advantage against ECM.
Yeah, that's very true. I believe there was some notable teams who lost to an Amar Rush team last year. Do you know who those teams might be, Rodney?
Yes, Pandemic Legion got destroyed by a Dark Side Legion team. That was Laser Legions, but still, in a lot of ways, a very similar team when they brought Tengus. But actually, it looks like in this case, the Legions are going to be coming over the Tengus in this match.
Yeah, very true. Which do you like more, Hams or lasers on the Legions?
Honestly, I like the lasers. The advantage of the Hams is you have the chance to switch your damage type, which is very nice, but the ability to kill frigates, I think, is extremely valuable and often underrated in the tournament. A Pulse Legion can shred frigates, especially destroyers and interdictors. So you can take down sabers really quickly, which, as we talked about before, killing sabers early on in the fight gives you a big benefit for not a lot of effort. They're really great ships primary.
I have a question for you. These legions are sitting right on top of that Tengu. Oh, finally damage comes in. There was no damage for a while, and they were just sitting there.
Yeah, part of the issue is that these Tengus still actually go decent speed even when webbed because you can't turn off their afterburners. You don't have the same ability that you would with a scrambler on a micro warp drive. The match is very, very, very close to going down. Like we have 30 seconds left, so it's going to be a question if this Tengu can survive for the next 30 seconds. It's going to be tight. I don't think he's going to be able to do it though.
Yep. We have an offer from Team Liquid of 10 billion for the Dead Terrorist team to violate boundary. If you're going to do your bribing, please do it before there's like 20 seconds left in the match.
Yep.
Because they won't be able to violate the boundary in time when they have ships at 0 on the beacon.
And there goes that last Tengu for Team Liquid, and they're going to exit this match with only 4 points, leaving them in very rough shape. This may be the end of Team Liquid in this tournament. We'll see what happens for them. Really depends on what happens the rest of the day today. But great job to Dead Terrace. They are now guaranteed to go through, and Kill It With Fire is also, I think, guaranteed to go through because of this. So good job to them as well. Our next match is going to be in about 10 minutes. We're going to be having Darkside versus Verge of Collapse, another match with one of our quarterfinals from last year. So come back in 10 minutes and we'll see you then.